I'm John Gilbert, and I'm here to interview Tom. Tom, why don't you introduce yourself?
Tom Isaac, I'm with Citi, and I'm in charge of the intermediary business, global brokers, global custodians and financial infrastructures.
Tom, you've just given a very wide-ranging and very well-defined speech of what is happening in the industry and where it's going. And in that speech you talked about the new economic reality. Can you define for me what you see as the characteristics of the likely survivors of that reality?
Yeah, I think there's really three parts to that. The first, the direct custodians who are going to survive are going to be win the internal battle for funding. So they've got to be committed to that business and it be part of the core strategy of their organisation. The second thing, I believe, is they've got to have this open-mindedness to change and make sure that they are looking at the end-to-end investor, broker, global custodian, sub-custodian, and how can they add value through the whole chain and not just very detailed look at just one market. And the third part is really a long-term commitment to globality, because I think the sub-custodians who are going to be the survivors along are going to be regional and global survivors, not mono or one or two market survivors.
In your presentation, you focused a lot on the regulatory change that we're experiencing, as indeed did many people in the conference. But if you were empowered to do so, can you tell me what regulation would you prefer to abandon? And also conversely, what regulation would you add to the schedule and why?
Well, I think as I sort of tried to explain in the presentation, the regulation, the underlying political will of financial stability, too big to fail, trying to get end protection for the investors are very, very laudable and the right things we should be focused on. I think the issue isn't about what to abandon and what to add. It's really to get where there's conflicts between those regulation and where can we highlight those conflicts and try to get a prioritization both domestically and globally. Is growth more important than tax raising? Is end investor protection more important than systemic sustainability? So I don't think there's anything that we should be abandoning, but we do need to be able to get our thoughts around what in the next 2 to 5 years are the most important things to deliver against from a political point of view.
I mean, if I can pick up on that, in your mind, if you're again looking at prioritizing, and that is indeed an issue because we are, I think you referred to the tsunami of regulation. If you were to prioritize, what are 1 or 2 areas of regulation would you really focus on?
I think we've got to facilitate the capital markets to enable the deleveraging of financial institutions, because Basel III and that systemically important aspect of deleveraging the banks, capital markets have got to take the ability to raise money and distribute that so that we get economic growth. So that's where I think the priority in the 2 to 5 years point is.
Tom Isaac, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.